Okay, first off, a quick warning. This show is rated TV MA, and it's pretty much all down to violence. So if that's not up your alley, then this show is not for you. Secondly, if you want completely spoiler-free, I'll say this: this show is kind of a good jumping on point for the Marvel universe that takes place on Netflix. So it sort of gives you an idea of the characters, and it stands on its own well enough. You can go back and you'll get added depth from watching the past seasons, but it's not needed at all to follow this particular show. So it's a decent starting off point, but it's not the best thing they've done. It's far from the worst. Yeah, with Iron Fist out there, but and you're not going to see any Kingpin in this, and you're not, but Iron Fist comes off better. So I'd say it's worth watching. But it won't be exactly what you're expecting. But give it a shot if you're interested in this universe or if you've been following it. Okay, there's the spoiler-free version. After credits, we'll come back and we'll have the version where I get into a little bit more detail, but I'll just addressing the main issues quickly. So one of the things the show does very well is the character relationships with each other. There's a lot of talking between them, and it really does build up in such a way in a believable fashion. So these very different characters who have previously never met, and it does come up with believable ways for them to be put in touch with each other, besides the Avengers thing of or DC Universe thing of having some rich guy put them all in touch with each other. Instead, they each have someone in their universe that links them. They each have someone from their own sphere, each of the heroes, that puts them in touch with the other ones. So that works well. The character moments all felt genuine. The characters who were awesome, like Stick, Luke Cage, and Claire, all continue to be awesome. The characters who have gotten unbearable continue to be unbearable. Like Karen with her, "Oh no, how selfish of you! You're being Daredevil out there. You should stop." Along with support from Foggy, who started out as my favorite character on Daredevil, but he and Karen quickly morph in with their constant whining. "Oh no, don't be Daredevil, don't be Daredevil, don't go out and save people." Didn't I save you? Wouldn't you be dead right now? And wouldn't hundreds or thousands of people be dead if I wasn't out there as Daredevil? "Oh, no. If you become Daredevil, you're a bad person, Matt Murdock. That proves you're a bad person. So you have to stop it all out. You can't find no such thing as a balance in your life. No, you either have to 100% not do it, or only do that. You can't balance out." Don't we live in a universe where all the other heroes balance out their private? I mean, it's pretty it's pretty well established that there are a ton of heroes who have do no, you're a bad person, you're a bad person, and just guilt trips him. Basically, her whole shtick now, is to just guilt trip him. I mean, that's it. Yeah, if you go after bad guys, you're obsessive. You're obsessed because you're putting your life in danger. Now, would you excuse me while I go put my life in danger writing a story for a newspaper? I want to be danger. I'm putting my life in danger to save people from immediate threats to their lives. You're doing it to for money. Yeah, money? That's a good reason to put your life in danger. Helping others? Not a good reason. Yeah, she grades on me. Sorry, but she just grades on me here, especially here. Well, for most of the last season, she and Foggy just graded on me. Foggy somewhat redeems himself in this. So that's good. But yeah, they try to go for one of those fake out endings. Also, they try to go for one of those fake out endings where they try to make you think someone is dead. Even it's the same problem that they have with that D. It's the same mistake DC makes. With made with Batman versus Superman, that they expect us to believe until the last second when they show something that a character is dead when they've already announced the show that that character is in has another season coming. So it's like, no. Just like with Superman, where they announced he was in Justice League before Batman versus Superman came out. I just like, even if I hadn't read the comic book, The Death of Superman, I'd be like, no. Well, but it is very well directed, and it's obvious in this that they gave Iron Fist. Sorry, I don't know the names of any of the actors to go with these characters, but sorry, they're just so new to me. I haven't seen any of these actors in anything else, so forgive me. But it's obvious that they gave Iron Fist time to rehearse his fights and get them down before fighting, unlike in his solo series. And he gets to do cool stuff. Uh, it is a really well constructed plot, and it does keep you on the edge of your seat. That's all good. Great action, great character moments, and all that. There are just a few things that I thought could have been done better. First of all, the plot, while it is good, it feels like it could have been told in a 2.5 hour movie. So be ready for lots of padding, lots of characters telling you stuff you already knew, and you don't even see the team together, and they don't really act as a team until the final episode. Maybe a bit in the next to last episode, and but it does handle team members fighting better than any superhero project on the big or small screen I've seen up until this point. So that's a definite plus. Um, I'm kind of surprised that this got. I guess it's because of the heads, but then people's heads come off in the Lord of the Rings films and they get a PG-13. I'm kind of surprised this got a TVMA rating because there's only like one Bruce Sixty that I don't think anybody actually takes off their clothes in that, and there's just the violence and maybe someone dropping the F-bomb, I think, in the first episode, and that's pretty much it for the content. So I'm kind of surprised this wasn't a TV-14. To tell you the truth, I couldn't tell the difference between this and shows on broadcast TV that get a TV-14 rating. So but that's just me. But but this is. But here's the other thing you need to know. Here's another thing you need to know going in. Is that yes, it's padded, and two, the heroes don't even get together in the same room until the end of episode 3. So, and they don't even work as a team really. When they are together and the chemistry is going, it is great and it flies along. There are probably plenty of times when you're all going to be tuning out like this, and just sort of half watching. And believe me, you're not going to miss anything because they reiterate the plot points several times. So I would have been happier if they had cut this down to like 4 episodes or something if they were going to do it as a series, or just made it as a standalone movie on Netflix. As it stands, I would still call it very good, but it could have been great with some tightening of things. That being said, Claire solidifies herself as, in this part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, being my favorite character, because unlike other whiny characters, who I won't get into bashing again, her reaction when Luke Cage shows up and tells her that she's got to go is, okay, so you went after the bad guys, and now they're coming after you and everyone you know. Got it. And she doesn't get mad once throughout the series. I'm like, why can't more of the supporting characters in these superhero shows and movies be like this, even in comics? Ugh, jeez. Why do all the supporting characters have to be whiny little people telling the heroes not to be heroes, and we have to watch our heroes be guilt tripped in and out of being heroes or not, and always constantly giving it up, putting it back on, giving it up, putting it back on. I'm looking at you, Daredevil. You started out as my favorite series here, but with the amount of times you're doing this now and going through Matt Murdock is guilt tripped for trying to save people, and and yeah, they try to play it as he's addicted to the violence. No, he's not. If he was addicted to the violence, he wouldn't have had any trouble with doing things Stick's way. Give me a break. He's been given more than enough reasons to kill people, and he never does. So give me a break. But it's like, but it, but yeah. And the thing is, you shouldn't. And here's the thing: it really is Iron Fist and Daredevil's story, because they're the ones who, on their shows, have been involved with the plot elements involved here. There's no Kingpin. There's no. So there's no Kilgrave or anything like that. So it's really Iron Fist and Daredevil's story with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones in tow. Not that they don't get great moments. Every hero gets their moment in this, like in Avengers. So it's still a a really good superhero team up moment. And when they're all together, it's awesome. It's just getting to those moments. And believe me, I'm not opposed to slow pace. I like the slower paced first episode, but the second episode and most of the third felt like pure padding just to get us where we all knew it was going anyway. They pick up a few plot points in the episodes, but you feel like it could have been condensed and they could have gotten those plot points across a lot quicker, like, you know. So, yeah. So, it has some flaws. Some of them, I would say, major, but they don't outweigh the good. This show has its ups and downs, but it comes out as mostly good. It's also moves, but it also has some problems with pacing, and I just wish they had cut Karen and pretty much Foggy's character out of the thing completely. You could have cut them out and not lost a thing. In fact, you probably. And I wish that they ditched this stupid subplot of that seems to be becoming all Daredevil is about, him with him being bugged by his friends not to be Daredevil, and him giving it up only to be pulled back in. It wastes so much screen time on the show. I feel like they should cut Daredevil's number of episodes from 13 a season to like 6 a season, because then they wouldn't need all this useless padding in his seasons that repeats the same character beats over and over and over. And but that's what I feel about all these Netflix shows is they're all overly long. That's something that comes with the territory, is when they shoot them, when they make the episodes around 55 minutes long to an hour long, you don't really need more than 6 or 7 of them a season, I feel. So yeah, so that goes with the territory in these Netflix series. So, but it is a good team up series. I don't want you to get the impression that it's not. But ugh, I really like Clarice, and I really wish she would be the template going forward for all supporting characters in all superhero shows and even comic books. Even the comic books could learn something from her. Stop giving us these whiny supporting characters that I just want to punch in the face. I mean, they're fine with it when the hero saves them, but when the hero tries to save anything else, it's like, oh no, don't you dare! You're a bad person. Stop trying to live 2 lives. Ugh. Sick of that garbage. But anyway, so and Luke Cage continues to cement himself as my favorite as my favorite hero in this part of the cinematic universe. Just the way he handles himself, and it does superhero conflicts within a team right. It does it right. Much better than Batman versus Superman, and I would argue better than the Avengers because they don't need to be being manipulated from the outside for with a scepter or something for it. That it comes about as a natural. It comes across as naturalistic. Now, Civil War did it better than this, but this did it very well too. They're just thrown together on the spur of a moment, and there are no plans. There is no team name. There isn't any government agency watching over a making work. So it really is believable when they clash. So there is that. So yeah, pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. I give. So the final score for Marvel's The Defenders on Netflix is 7 out of 10. Well worth watching. Not the best thing. Not the best superhero related thing to come out this year so far, but still very good and well worth watching. So if you haven't watched it yet, enjoy. I'd argue that it's worth paying for a month of Netflix. I mean, you can get it if you just want it on one device for around $8. And I would like to say that this isn't sponsored anyway. I don't make any money off of these videos or anything. But I'm just saying I would argue that it's worth the cost of 1 month of Netflix, even if you're just going to watch this once. So yeah, there are just a few minor problems, but there are just a few minor problems, or they might be big problems to you, just based on your own personal taste. So, just think about what I said and go by your own personal taste about whether or not you think it will be worth it. But have fun because the team up moments in this are awesome. Just don't expect it to be referenced in Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. It seems to be structured in such a way that it will lead directly into the next season of Daredevil and the Iron Fist, but Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, the show closes in such a way where I don't think it'll ever be mentioned again. They do this like reset button thing, almost Star Trek Voyager-esque reset button thing where hopefully we'll never have to talk about this again. I think somebody actually says that. And there is the point at one point where somebody actually does do a line from Return of the Jedi, and I'm like, but yeah, almost word for word a line from Return of the Jedi. You'll know it when you see it. It's in the last episode, but yeah, but enjoy.